By now, you've all heard of Italian Wine Unplugged 2.0, the latest book published by Mama Jumbo Shrimp. It's more than just another wine book. The fully updated second edition was inspired by students of the Viticulturist International Academy and painstakingly reviewed and revised by an expert panel of certified Italian wine ambassadors from across the globe. The book also includes an edition by Professore Attilio Scienza, Italy's leading vine geneticist. The benchmark producers feature is a particularly important aspect of this revised edition. The selection makes it easier for our readers to get their hands on a bottle of wine that truly represents a particular grape or region. To pick up a copy, just head to Amazon.com or visit us at mamajumboshrimp.com.
Welcome to the Italian Wine Podcast. I'm Cynthia Chaplin, and this is Voices. Every Wednesday, I will be sharing conversations with international wine industry professionals, discussing issues in diversity, equity, and inclusion through their personal experiences working in the field of wine. If you enjoy the show, please subscribe and rate our show wherever you get your pods. Hello, this is me, Cynthia Chaplin at Voices, and today I'm so excited to welcome Cecil Park to Voices. Cecil was the first Korean-American female winemaker in Napa, California, and she is the winemaker and owner of Winefornia. Her wines have won numerous prizes at competitions like the San Francisco Chronicle Wine Competition, James Suckling, and Shanghai International Wine Challenge. Her signature wine, Innovatus, was featured at the 2018 Crazy Rich Asian film premiere and is now the official wine for Orpheum Theater in San Francisco. Cecile is also a breast cancer survivor, and without missing a beat, she is now managing over 80 vineyards in Napa, as well as her own successful business. So we are so grateful to have you here. We know that you're giving us your time, and it's a pleasure to welcome you.
Hi, Cynthia. Thanks for having me over here. I'm so excited and I am very honored to be here today.
It is completely our pleasure and particularly mine since I get to chat with you personally. I love that you always say you grew up in Korea as a typical, quote unquote, Korean girl, but you had big ambitions and you earned a degree in biotechnology engineering at the elite Yonsei University. And then you immigrated to the U.S. and you got involved in wine. So what was it like for you growing up in Korea, pushing against, a big tide of tradition where women didn't have this kind of ambition?
Well, you said it right. Actually, I didn't really think I had a big ambition for my career or life, but, I am the third generation of Korean War. So we were pretty poor, and then we didn't have much opportunity to pursue a career, especially as a woman and a girl. And I thought, I want to have some profession, but for that, maybe, I've been thinking about what kind of career I can get. But I didn't know what is available actually. So just thinking about being more professional, I thought having an engineering degree might give an opportunity to explore a little bit better in the position that I can be pursuing a career in later life. So I decided to study engineering, and then I got the degree. That's how I got it.
Well, it's so interesting, that what you just said, I didn't know what was available. It's interesting, I think, to a lot of our listeners to connect with somebody who came from a different culture as a young woman. I'm much older than you. And when you were...
Are you? You sound very young, almost like a little girl, like very friendly girl.
We won't say how old I am, but it's interesting about that concept of not knowing what's available in other cultures. And I think a lot of our listeners are American and, European and British and Canadian and Australian, and they don't really remember often that there are a lot of cultures where still women don't have that opportunity to really think about what is available. So the fact that you went after, a biotech degree, that's not something that women did.
Right. So biotech, actually the Yonsei University that I went, the biotech engineering was initially was a food and biotech. So when I was choosing the major in engineering, I thought at least, food is a little bit closer to women's profession or women's area. So that's why I chose food and biotech, and then they changed the name of the major from food and bio to biotech engineering. So I ended up, graduating biotech engineering.
It's kind of like a happy accident that so I have 4 daughters, which people,
Wow, lucky you.
yes, very lucky me. It's that idea of food is close to women. And it's funny because so many of the major famous chefs in the world are men, but I think in daily lives, food is close to women. And it was a way to stick with a culture, but find a degree that nobody could argue with you about. That's very interesting. I like that story.
Yeah, food and bio, I mean, it's really close to our daily life, but at the same time, it's more academic. So, engineering side, which is a lot different from the cooking and nutrients. It's more like biotherm. That's very like chemistry, and then it's even more like biology, and then biology plus chemistry. Base.
And mathematics and other things.
Right.
So you ended up moving to the States in 2001. What prompted that move? And what was it like for you moving to the States? You were far from home and dealing with a completely different culture, and I think probably fearful and free at the same time. How did that work for you?
Yeah, it was. I didn't really plan to stay here for this long, but I had a round trip ticket to come to United States. But when I was planning to come, I my first job. I have to tell you about my first job. My first job was a marketing product manager at coffee company. I, I've been thinking about being more professional in science field as engineer. My first job was a little bit shifted from my original thought and plan. Coffee company, hired me as a product manager in the marketing side because I have a science background. I'm a woman who understand the coffee products. So they kind of choose me as the very first female product manager in the marketing side. They're kind of experimenting. They're, in their like half a century history, they never had any women marketing manager. So I was the very first one.
This was a very important company, so let's just say who it was.
It's a crafts, Maxwell House company, but it was, yeah, in Korea division. Yes.
This was a big company, and it was a big deal for you to be the first female.
Yeah. And I mean, like when they hired me, I said, "Oh my God, I don't know anything about the marketing and business side. Please move me to the research center or the production side because I don't know anything about it." But the company said, "Why don't you try? It will provide education and everything." So I became the first product manager at the company, and then I worked for 3 years at the company as a product manager, but I didn't really see myself with this marketing side for long because I always my sincere the desire was more toward to the production still and the science side. So but it was kind of like I was confused, like where should I go with this career path? So should I get a MBA degree to pursue this side as a more professional way, or should I go back to the science side? So that's that's how I went to the United States, think about, marketing, the MBA program or whatever. So that's how I got, how I came to the United States, 2001.
It's super risky. You yeah, super risky. You came, doing something for, Kraft and Maxwell, coffee, things that weren't exactly what you wanted to do. You wanted to do production and science, as you just said. It's, coming to the States at that time must have been incredibly difficult. And at some point, you got into the wine industry as a lab technician at Napa Wine Company, and you went on to get another degree in viticulture and enology. How on earth did you get involved with wine?
So when I came to the United States, for the first time in my life, I tasted wine. So I was surprised to find this amazing juice that makes me happy and make me curious. So I fell in love with wine, and I just liked it so much, and not just liking it there. I was curious about the production side. It's behind the taste. So I was thinking, maybe, around that time, Korea, the wine market is slowly growing. So I thought, if I go back to this, wine maybe production side, I can make it to work somehow to live. It's a work and life together. So I decided to give it a try to start working as a lab technician at Napa Wine Company, um, and see if there is any chance for me to continue and then maybe find my, like a career back in the science and production side. So that's how I got into the wine. And then I worked at Napa Wine Company. Napa Wine Company is one of the oldest co-op place for various winemakers. There were Heidi Bear was making wine there, Rob Lawson, and Aaron Pot, and there are many winemakers were making wine at the winery at Napa Wine Company, and I found that the winery system, you don't really have to own the facility, winery, and then you don't have to own the vineyard. So it was very you know surprising and to see that you actually can become a winemaker without owning the place. So that's how I started my career in winemaking, by learning about the system in Napa. So I started making wine from 2007, and then later on I went to UC Davis 2012, I think. Yeah. And
Yeah, it's so interesting. That's such a big part of what I think a lot of people don't understand. Becoming a winemaker in a lot of countries, but particularly the US, you don't have to own the vineyard. You can buy in grapes, you can experiment, you can do a lot of winemaking without having your own vineyard. And as you said, you got a degree in viniculture and enology from UC Davis, uh, and that was sort of a whole decade of your life. What were the challenges like for you? You were one of very few female minority winemakers in California at that time. It was 10 years ago, if not more. Uh, and you have excelled and kind of broken a lot of barriers, plus your own mental barriers from your childhood in Korea. it's interesting how you got to where you are. What was that like for you?
It's more like it's struggling, inner struggling is the most challenging part for me. I mean, I know, I have known anybody in the industry. I have no background basically in the wine country in the US. So my language was still still I'm learning English.
Your English is way better than my Italian, so don't worry.
So I didn't speak the language in the industry either. So although I kind of, got to start my career in the industry, but my confidence level was really low. So I was insecure on every aspect of winemaking, every aspect of communication. So I was just like super super shy and introvert in the industry, just doing whatever I could do and then just come home and then hide myself basically. And that was the biggest hurdle throughout my career until 10 years of winemaking of my career. And so the reason, I mean, I was now, I was able to make a wine, but at the same time, I wanted to communicate with other, but I really needed to know the exact meaning of each vocabulary where the industry people are talking about. So that's why I went to the UC Davis to pick up the vocabulary and then gradually fit in the network of the industry. Um, so that was kind of the most biggest challenge that I had. I mean, internal struggling or insecurity was the big thing, but outer, obviously, it's a like outer challenges are pretty much a common thing that you're a small producer, you're female, and then small producer, you really didn't have a chance to get their time or attention on your production. So it's very challenging to have any vendor to work for you. You have to really work it hard to get a time slot, to make it work. And also female, I think of being female is a same thing. You didn't really get the attention to make it your production going uh, by by Lou or whatever. I mean, there is some kind of I don't I think it's more manner of speak. Um, I think that is a way. Um, as a minority, as a female, nobody really care about you. That's that was a challenge.
Well, no, that's I mean, and that's so true. We laugh about it, but it really is so true. As a young woman and a woman who wasn't American and coming into Napa and coming into California and coming into UC Davis, you had this amazing scientific biotech background. You had all of the education and all of the credentials, but breaking into that is just not that easy. But and you say, you're super shy, um, and I think that's part of things that hold us back. So you were studying and you were in California and you were working, doing different things. And in 2007, way before you got your degree from UC Davis, you started Winefornia and you were still studying. And the business is focused on creating personalized and customized wines. So okay, super shy, I get it, but what gave you this idea? And you put this business up and going before you even finished your degree. So you've got more confidence than I think you're admitting to, because this is a good business.
Yeah. Um, I didn't have any foundation to start with, but I thought I only had an idea that, I can create some private labeled wine for special special occasion, especially, the corporates that I've known from my previous work career. They were doing some big event like a PGA, LPGA tournaments, and then, over there they're looking for the gifting item for their VIPs and, the chairman's dinner, things like that.
For our listeners who don't know, LPGA and PGA are the Ladies Pro Golf Association and the Pro Golf Association in the United States, which are
Yes.
huge, huge, businesses for pro golfing competition.
Yes, they are. So, so I thought, since I know I know what they need. So it was more like a niche finding. I knew they're looking for something special. And then I was in the industry that, I wasn't ready for my own label yet. So I thought, maybe I could do something with that, as a winemaker, who can create a private labeled wine for a special occasion. So Winefornia, when I first started, I say it is your own wine from California. So there was Winefornia that, I can create something for your own special occasion. That was the idea that I couldn't start, and then build my production career, and also, develop my skills to make a wine as well.
Well, it's amazing what you've managed to accomplish because, as I said, Winefornia started in 2007 and you did wines for the LPGA and the PGA, and you started taking on private clients and corporate clients and making individual wines. And you've ended up cultivating this incredible reputation as an award-winning winemaker, a viticulturist, a wine negociant, and you're widely regarded as one of the most creative winemakers in Napa. You've said that you're determined to make wines that heal and restore and connect us to the land and the vines and to each other. So I just want to ask you, about your philosophy for winemaking. What inspires your creativity and what sets your wines apart?
Are you enjoying this podcast? Don't forget to visit our YouTube channel, Mama Jumbo Shrimp, for fascinating videos covering Stevie Kim and her travels across Italy and beyond, meeting winemakers, eating local foods, and taking in the scenery. Now, back to the show.
So I think that I should share some of my personal story. So I was very, I came from Korea, and then I was kind of like focused on, just keeping my feet grounded in the industry with whatever I could do. So I've been working so hard, and then if when I found something, needed, or, opportunity, I was gonna just take on, do my best, uh, to accomplish or complete the project. So I've been working really hard, and then I found this, a problem internally. It was a physical problem, and I got diagnosed with breast cancer, stage 3, and then I didn't realize until then how much I wasn't thinking about the meaning of life, or my happiness, or my family, and then my community. So it was early 2019, not long ago, but I completely stopped my working lifestyle for a year, and then I didn't drive anywhere. So I walk everywhere or take the public transportation everywhere. And I just been thinking about my life again and again. and see, what was more meaningful for me to do in my life and future. And and then so far, I mean, I realized the wine was a very important piece still, because it gave me a lot of opportunity to explore more internally, and then more also in every aspect, like economies, and then philosophy, and then culture and art and all. And I wasn't really able I wasn't able to really enjoy or feel it. It was just more like moving forward and forward and forward. So I stopped on hold, and then I thought wine is meaningful for me because it is a connection to healing, and then just opening, and then kind of finding yourself. So that was you know there was the philosophy behind about the wine for me.
It's so interesting. I love that story. And I'm so glad you're well, first of all, after your cancer diagnosis. But it's it's interesting how wines that touch you. I'm not a winemaker, but I do seek out wines that touch me in an emotional way and give me a visceral response. And they do have the potential to take you out of yourself, especially when you're telling the story to others like you are today. And I'm really glad that you're sharing this with us because it's so important for people to hear how much being part of the land, being part of wine, being part of that creation, the chemistry, your background is chemistry, and I'll even say alchemy, is so crucial to the experience of what people have in their glass ultimately. And you launched your signature wine before your diagnosis. Innovatus was launched in 2014, and it's been talked about so much, and people have said that that is your soul in a bottle of wine. So tell us a little bit about Innovatus.
Yeah, I call it Innovatus, but the wine I launched 2014, and that time the name of Innovatus is Napa's entrepreneur spirit. Um, that reflects of my I mean the Napa culture, because Napa wasn't the original wine region, compared to Italy and France and other old European countries. But Napa's entrepreneur spirit really developed the Napa as they are right now, as it is now. They're really now top uh, top quality wine producer, and that in order to do that, they really pour their heart and soul, and then sweat. So I thought that's very inspirational, and also at the same time, as an immigrant, I came here, and then I pour in my perspective and then my endeavor to just try something different, and then something unique about it, and then make it a contribution to the uh, Napa as well. So that is the soul of Innovatus, and yeah, I since then I've been grooming and then growing along with the Innovatus label of my own.
I'm so happy. Innovatus is inspirational, and I think it's important for people to hear. So, what's the blend? First of all, let's hear.
Yeah. So the cuvee, the red blend, has a very interesting blend. So it is a Pinot and a Syrah. On the grape spectrum, Syrah is a thicker side. It's a lot bigger grapes and darker skin, and then the Pinot, the other side, it's a very thin skin, small cluster, and then it's a very delicate grape. So when you combine these two grapes together, you created something very exotic, nuance to it. And then also at the same time, it's a balance too. So I was super surprised that this combination actually can do well. And nobody has done it. And, as a outsider of the wine country, I dare to try something different. So that's how.
It sounds like it represents you, exotic and balanced. I really like that. I think that's so nice. And Pinot and Syrah in California, as you said, that's really not a traditional or a normal or a, very accessible blend. So I love what you're doing with that, and I love what it means to you. So these days you're managing, 80 vineyards in Napa, and Winefornia has become a huge community of vintners. And you're crazy busy, and you've had a life-threatening illness. Um, so at the moment, how are you holding this all together? Between a demanding career and a family, and your health and your philosophy of making an exotic and a balanced wine, and also wines for your clients, which are very bespoke. What gets you out of bed in the morning? What's making you feel creative?
So creativeness, I think, it really, I mean, it's just a daily life. Two things are very beneficial and very helpful for me to go this life. um, one is, meditation or writing journal. I mean, I wake up in the morning and I try not to watch any screen, and I focus on my thought or my vision in the morning for half an hour. It's a short time, but it really helpful. And then just and then after that, I plan for the day or for a week. And also I drive a lot, so during driving, I actually, it is my own time. I can just think myself, and then just reflect what I've been doing. So that was really helpful. And also now, I've been working in the industry for 16 years. So now I have a lot of, I mean, not like, I have a good group of people who's really supportive, including my family, but people in the industry as well. So they're super supportive. I really owe them so much. So they're helping me with my idea, and then I'm still growing, but this with this people around and even nature around, I think I'm managing it pretty well.
I really love that idea of your drive time as your own time. I remember when I had 6 children, when my children were small, when I was in the car alone, that was my only time to myself. It didn't happen often. And I got some of my best ideas then. So I relate to that a lot. Um,
Exactly.
and you said you meditate, you take a half an hour every day, which I think is so crucial to our well-being right now. And I'm just wondering, what are you dreaming of for the future? I know you have children and you have Winefornia. What's your dreams for the next 5 years?
Next 5 years, so it's related to work as well, but I really want to do something that meaningful for the land healing, because nowadays the practice in the vineyard side, it's very technical and it's very precision um, driven, but I think it's more oriental approach, which is have you done any acupuncture or more herbal medicine? It is kind of general overall health of the body. So I wanted to apply some type of Oriental vineyard farming practice to the Napa vineyard, so that kind of try out more, approach to more overall health than the pinpointed, precise remedy. So I wanted to see if I can create something in Napa with this some different scope of, practices onto the soil and land. And that's one side of it. And then, so another side, in Korea, there is not like wine, actually producer in Korea yet. So I can kind of bring my skill set or my knowledge to Korea so that Korea can have some type of their own wine as well. So I want to be a bridge between Napa and Korea somehow.
That's incredible. I have to say I'm very fortunate to have a very close friend who introduced me to Reiki. Uh, so that has been something that was useful to me at various times. And I like that approach to overall health, but taking it to the next level and taking it away from just humans and applying it to soil and to agriculture, I think could be something completely innovative considering climate change and the challenges that our Earth faces. I love that you're looking that way, and also finding a way to make wine happen in Korea is completely outside the box. And I really wish you well. I know that all of our listeners do too. I'm so grateful, Cecile, for you coming on tonight. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been great. And thanks again.
Thank you for listening, and remember to tune in next Wednesday when I'll be chatting with another fascinating guest. Italian Wine Podcast is among the leading wine podcasts in the world and the only one with a daily show. Tune in every day and discover all our different shows. You can find us at ItalianWinePodcast.com, SoundCloud, Spotify, Himalaya, or wherever you get your pods.